This is MIcornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. And today we want to deal with basic principles for church members, for congregants, some basic principles that are directed to the congregants, and that's very important. My people, congregants, I'm speaking to you today. I'm not speaking to the pastors, I'm not speaking to the leadership. I'm speaking to the congregants, people that are like you and me that are sitting and who are actually congregants in a particular church. Remember that you are having a home, spiritual home, a church where you're fellowshipping, which we call a local church. And as a member of a local church, I'm speaking to you today just what we speak about principles of a congregant. So you need to have a spiritual home. You need to have a church where you're fellowshipping. Now, when we speak about a spiritual home, we speak about a place where you have affiliated, a place where you have committed yourself to become a member, a place where you are actually assigning people to be accountable of you. So people that you're submitting under, and you are responsible in that particular church. A place where they can rebuke you, they can correct you. A place where you can learn and be taught. Now, when we talk about a local church, which is a spiritual home, we talk about a place where you are ready to be rebuked, you are ready to be corrected, you are ready to submit, you are ready to obey, you are ready to respect the leaders, you are ready to do things in that church to make sure that the progress of that vision is taken care of. So this is very important. Now, when we speak about the spiritual home, our advice as Church Governance Solutions is not you as an individual. If you're having a family, so please submit your family to a spiritual home, not only you. And that's the reason why sometimes I'm really saying and advising people that are coming that you are a husband, you are going to church alone, you are a wife maybe, you are going to church alone. Please encourage your spouse to become part of the same church where you are. And we would love to advise as Church Governance Solutions that as spouses avoid being in different spiritual homes. So rather find a common ground where your spiritual home is the same, where together as a spouse, you are in one spiritual home. And together with your children, of course, you become submissive in spiritual homes, especially when the children are still minors and they're actually still submitting under the same roof with you. Be in the same church. Be in the same spiritual home. It becomes more useful to do so because majority of us, when we are learning from the same platform and we are learning from the spiritual home that is the same, we are basically able to become on the same page, and that actually speaks to the health of that family, and that's very important. The spiritual health of the family is facilitated by that. So, principle number one. As a congregant, as a child of God, have a spiritual home. Stop this thing of hoping from one church to another. Stop this thing of being a visitor forever, of sitting in a church for years, but yet you're still a visitor. So we are actually, as Church Governance Solutions, we're restoring godly order in the house of the orderly God. So church hopping cannot be allowed. So no to church hopping. No to non-committal member or a visitor. No to being a visitor for many years and without submitting in a church. So you cannot be a visitor forever. And therefore, be careful of that. So please become a person who is having a spiritual home. Secondly, you need to commit to activities in your spiritual home. You can't actually just say, I'm a member of this church, and you don't commit to activities. You don't commit. When there's a prayer meetings, you must be there. When there's church services, you must be there. When there are conferences, you must be there. If this is your spiritual home, so you must be able to attend actually the activities of that church without fail. You cannot choose and pick and choose the activities that you want to attend, but you must commit to all actual activities of the church and without any reason. So you must be committed then to the activities of the church. So when we speak about a spiritual home, it is a place where you're part of, where everybody knows you as well, that you're part of, and you're submissive to that structure and leadership. So therefore, make sure that you participate in the activities of that spiritual home. That's a principle. The other principle is to serve the vision in the church. When we talk about participating in activities, that's not only enough that we're talking about making sure that the vision is being taken care of. Now, when we speak about the vision, we talk about what the vision is all about, because remember, the vision of a particular spiritual home speaks not only to church services, it speaks to even outside church homes. Church activities, even outside the church services, whereby you yourself, you go out to fulfill the vision that you have been entrusted with, or the vision that you're serving under. If the vision is about taking care of the offense, therefore, you need to go all out to take care of the offense, not only in the church setup only, even in your own space, whereby you're extending the vision that is actually at hand in your spiritual home. You are extending it as an individual. Remember that you are the hand and extra feet of the vision. And also you become the eyes and the ears of the vision itself. So therefore you must articulate the vision even outside the space of the church service. Therefore, as an individual and as a family, when you extend that, you are therefore making sure that you are serving the vision of the church even outside church services. And that becomes very important. And that's what we are speaking about right now. Now, honor the visionary as a spiritual parent, despite of age. And I want to emphasize that despite of education as well, and despite of what they have, or what we call material wealth as well. Because sometimes we are judging our pastors based on age. Is younger than me, then you undermine him. Then you say, I'm more educated than him, and then you undermine him. I'm more wealthier and richer than him, then I undermine him. So that is a rebellion, and that cannot be accepted. So when you are a congregant, remember that the visionary becomes your parent, spiritual parent. So your visionary becomes your leader. So therefore, you cannot undermine them, whether they are younger than you, or they are less educated than you, or they are less privileged financially than you. But you need to respect your pastor as your spiritual leader. So therefore, we must actually learn as congregants not to use other things. Whether we respect the people or not, we respect them. We must not respect them based on external things. We must understand the principle of God, which is actually to respect a man or a woman of God based on what the word says, based on the spiritual principle as well. And that's very important that we emphasize that. So honor the visionary as a spiritual parent, despite of age, despite of education levels, despite of financial power and so on. So, but honor them and respect them. Now, also, we want to emphasize that as a principle. As a congregant, you need to respect authority. Now, the authority in a church is all people that have been assigned to become leaders in the church. You must respect them, whether they are younger than you, less privileged, less educated, but the authority must be that even if it's a young person that is leading the department where you're submitting under, you must still respect that person. Now, remember that respect should not see an age. Respect must not see a gender. The respect must not see education. Respect must not see wealth or money. So the respect must be that we are able to respect every individual, actually, as a principle. But then more so, we must be able to respect authority. People that have been allocated or delegated to become leaders within our spiritual homes, we must actually be able to respect and honor them. So please honor the authority in the church. Respect the authority in your own spiritual home. Then you become somebody who is matured when you do so. And that's very important that we do so. So live according to the word of God and be obedient to the word and become somebody who lives according to the principles of God. And that's very key. And we want to emphasize that when you do so, God will actually mature you even more. Therefore, obedience is better than sacrifice. We need to know that. So please obey the word and live according to the word. And that will actually be something that's very key as a principle. When you are actually living right, you are representing also your spiritual home very well. You are representing your pastor very well, because you are judged as well by the people in the community based on the spiritual home where you belong. You must not make people or cause people in the world to ridicule your spiritual home and point at that place and say, this church is like this, based on your own lifestyle, which is wayward. No, we want to emphasize that as a principle, as a congregant, remember that you are accountable to the leadership of the church, you are accountable to a spiritual home. So therefore, whatever you do is actual reflection of the spiritual home where you are. So therefore, you may either dent or improve the image of that spiritual home based on your lifestyle. So therefore, take care of that as well and make sure that you don't just live anyhow. The other thing that's very important is you need to forge good relationships with others. Now, when we talk about others, we're not speaking about only the other church members. Of course, we're speaking about the other church members, but we're speaking also about the community around. And I want to emphasize that we're not saying you must forge relationships with some, we are saying with everyone, in the sense of dealing with people appropriately. We're not saying be friends to them, but we are saying be able to relate cordially with people in a respectable manner. Please don't hold grudges and unforgiveness amongst the members that you're dealing with in the church. Of course, not even the community members. You cannot hold grudges and unforgiving spirit with the people outside. Therefore, what more about the church members that you're with? So please make sure that as a congregant, you're mature enough to be able to ask forgiveness if you faulted some people, and also be able also to forgive others as well, and be able to reconcile with individuals that you know that you're not on the same page, so that we can live together as children of the same Father, who is God, and submitting under Jesus Christ, who is the Lord and Savior of our lives. So please, as a child of God, you need to be able to forge good relationships with other people. And that's very key. And that's a principle that we need to keep at all times. I want to end up here today, your host, MIcornus Phokane. I'm the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. Remember, on this platform, we are restoring godly order in the house of the orderly God. And we believe strongly that this platform helps you to shape up your church administratively and in a governance manner. And you are able to develop leadership in your church that will sustain your church and make it to be driven in a proper manner. We want to end up here. And remember that our social media platforms are available for you. Our social media platforms are the following: our Facebook page, Church Governance Solutions, and my personal Facebook page, MIcornus Phokane. Don't forget that. So please like and follow us on those platforms. Our TikTok account and our Instagram, they are under MIcornus Phokane. So please follow us, like those as well. Don't forget our YouTube channel. It is under Young Men Empowerment Forum. I repeat, Young Men Empowerment Forum. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've got a lot of videos that we've posted in this particular YouTube channel. So please subscribe to it and click notification button as well, so that when we post a video, the good Lord will bless you. And we want to urge you as well to go further, to share this social media platform, the links to your loved ones, whether it's your friends, family, relatives, and the people that could be your colleagues at work. So please share these platforms with them, and the good Lord will bless you as you do that. Until we meet again with another topic, allow us to check out right here and say cheers for now.